First up, the 1955 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with a D mint mark is one of the coins that many collectors look for because it comes from a year when United States coinage was transitioning in the post-war era. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is why it carries the small letter D below the date on the obverse. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series began in 1909 and continued until 1958, and by 1955 it had become an everyday coin used by millions of Americans for daily purchases. The design features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right, with the words "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date with the D mint mark to the right. On the reverse side, two wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum at the top. This design remained unchanged for decades, and it is loved by collectors because of its simplicity, its connection to American history, and the familiar image of Lincoln that has endured for so long. In 1955, the Denver Mint produced a large number of these pennies, which makes the date common in most conditions. However, the value of a 1955 D Lincoln Wheat Penny in good condition depends heavily on its condition. A coin in good condition shows clear date and mint mark, but has seen a lot of wear from circulation. On a good condition coin, Lincoln's features and the wheat stalks on the reverse will be worn smooth in places, and the finer details will be faint, but the overall design and lettering will still be fully readable. When we consider the value in dollars for a 1955 D Lincoln Wheat Penny in good condition in today's market, the price is usually higher than face value, but still modest compared to rare or high-grade coins. Most good condition examples trade in a range between a few cents and several dollars, depending on the buyer, the marketplace, and how attractive the coin looks to a collector. A typical 1955 D good condition penny might sell around $2 to $5 in a private sale or at a coin show. Prices can vary higher if the coin has attractive color or eye appeal, and slightly lower if the coin shows heavy wear or surface marks. Collectors often seek out these coins to complete a full date and mint mark set of Lincoln Wheat Pennies. Because the series covers so many years and mints, collecting one of each variety is a common goal for many numismatists. The 1955 D in good condition fills an important spot in those sets and is often one of the more affordable pieces for new collectors to acquire. It is important for collectors to understand that prices online can sometimes be misleading. Listings with high asking prices do not always reflect what coins actually sell for. Real market sales tend to cluster around realistic values based on condition, rarity, and demand. For a 1955 D in good condition, that realistic value in today's market is typically in the low single digits of dollars rather than very high amounts. Holding a 1955 D Lincoln Wheat Penny in good condition connects you with a piece of everyday American history. This coin circulated in a time when pennies were still made of mostly copper and when everyday spending involved coins that today are treasured by collectors. Even though the coin may be worn, the fact that it has survived for decades and remains collectible is part of its appeal. If you were building a Lincoln Wheat Penny collection or just exploring the history of United States coins, the 1955 D in good condition is a meaningful and accessible piece. Its value in dollars today reflects its common status, but also the ongoing interest collectors have in preserving older coins and appreciating the story behind each one.
The 1945 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark is a coin that many collectors and everyday people come across when sorting old change or estate collections. This coin was struck in 1945 at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it does not have a mint mark under the date. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series began in 1909 and continued through 1958, with the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and two wheat ears on the reverse framing the denomination and country name. In 1945, the world was at the end of the Second World War, and everyday objects like pennies were part of people's daily lives. Millions of these pennies were made and spent, and they passed through the hands of soldiers, workers, and families across the country. Because so many 1945 pennies were produced, most surviving examples are common in today's collections. When we talk about condition, coin collectors use specific terms to describe how worn a coin is. A coin in good condition shows considerable wear from circulation. The details of Lincoln's hair and coat are smooth and soft. The wheat stalks on the reverse are worn, and the surfaces may be dark or lightly scratched from years of use. A good condition coin is not crisp like a new coin, but it still holds the basic elements of the design and is fully identifiable. The value of a 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in good condition in today's market depends on how collectors see its condition and demand. Because this date is not rare and was made in very high numbers, a typical good condition example generally sells for a modest amount. On average, these coins in normal circulated condition are valued around 20 cents to about $1 in normal sales. Some coins may sell slightly above this range if they have particularly attractive color or if they've been cleaned or altered, but most trade within these limits. There are listings where people ask for higher prices, but realistic values are based on actual sales where buyers and sellers agree on a price. For a worn 1945 penny without a mint mark in good condition, it is expected to be modest in today's market, with most coins selling for under $1. The true value is not only in the price, but in the connection to history and the enjoyment of learning about classic American coinage.
Next up, the 1953 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with a D mint mark is a coin that attracts collectors who focus on mid-20th century Lincoln cents. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is indicated by the small D below the date on the obverse. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series began in 1909 and continued until 1958, and the 1953 D penny is part of the later years of the series. The obverse of the coin features Abraham Lincoln facing right with the words "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date with the D mint mark below. The reverse has two wheat stalks framing 1 cent and United States of America with E pluribus unum at the top. This design is one of the most recognizable in American coin history and has remained popular with collectors for more than a century. The 1953 D Lincoln Wheat Penny had a significant mintage of over 583 million coins, making it a common date in the series. Despite the high production numbers, the value of this coin depends heavily on condition. A coin in extra fine condition shows light wear on the highest points of Lincoln's portrait and coat, while all major details are still visible. The wheat stalks on the reverse remain sharply defined, with most lines intact. Extra fine coins also retain some of their original luster and often have attractive color and eye appeal. In terms of value, a 1953 D Lincoln Wheat Penny in extra fine condition typically sells for about $1 to $3 in today's market. Coins with especially nice color or strong strike may sell for slightly more, while coins with minor discoloration or marks might sell for slightly less. Because the 1953 D is a common date even in higher grades, the values are modest compared to rarer dates or error coins in the Lincoln Wheat Penny series. Collectors appreciate the 1953 D for its place in history and for completing date and mint mark sets. This coin circulated during the early 1950s when the United States was experiencing post-war growth, and everyday pennies like this one were part of daily commerce. Owning a coin in extra fine condition from this era offers a glimpse into that period while still being affordable for both new and experienced collectors. It is important to understand that condition drives value in coin collecting. A heavily worn 1953 D penny may only be worth face value or slightly above, while an extra fine coin commands a higher price due to its preserved detail and overall appeal. Collectors often use these coins to illustrate grading concepts and to complete collections of Lincoln Wheat Pennies from the Denver Mint. For anyone holding a 1953 D Lincoln Wheat Penny in extra fine condition, it represents a piece of American history as well as a collectible item. The current market value in dollars is modest, but the historical significance and collectible interest make it an appealing coin for anyone interested in Lincoln cents and mid-20th century United States coinage. Even though it is not a rare coin in extra fine condition, it is a satisfying addition to a collection and a tangible connection to the 1950s era. It helps illustrate the continuity of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series and provides collectors with the opportunity to explore the nuances of grading, condition, and mint marks while building a meaningful set of coins.
Next up, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark is a coin that many people find in old change, collections, and sometimes even in loose change. This penny was struck in Philadelphia in the year 1945, and therefore it carries no mint mark below the date. The Lincoln Wheat Penny design had been in continuous production since 1909, and by 1945 it was familiar to every American. The front of the coin shows Abraham Lincoln facing right with the words "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date at the bottom. The back of the coin features two wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America with E pluribus unum at the top. A dirty condition coin means that it has been in circulation for many years and shows obvious signs of wear and handling. On a 1945 Lincoln penny in dirty condition, the high points of the design are worn smooth, the wheat stalks on the reverse may be almost flat, and the surfaces can appear dark or stained from years of contact with pocket lint, dirt, and other elements. These coins are often found in rolls, boxes, or jars of old coins and do not have sharp detail, but they still carry historical interest. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny was made during the final year of the Second World War, and millions of these pennies were struck. Because of the very large number produced, the date is not rare, and worn or dirty examples are common. Even though this particular date is common, there are still collectors who enjoy collecting pennies from every year of the series, and even dirty coins have value beyond their face value. In today's market, a 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in dirty, circulated condition typically has a value slightly above its face value. Most dirty examples will sell for around 10 to 25 cents in a typical coin sale. Some coins that are very worn or have heavy dirt and discoloration may sell for even less, while a slightly nicer looking piece with clearer design details might bring a bit more. These values reflect what buyers and sellers agree upon in everyday coin trading. Many people see high prices listed online and assume their old penny must be valuable, but it is important to understand that the dollar value of a dirty 1945 penny is modest. High prices usually belong to coins that are in much better condition or that have rare errors or unusual features. A normal, dirty, circulated penny from 1945 without a mint mark does not command high prices in the current market. Still, this coin connects us with a significant period in history. In 1945, the United States was engaged in the final stages of World War II, and everyday coins like this penny were used by soldiers, workers, and families for daily transactions. Holding a 1945 wheat penny today is a way to hold a small piece of that past, even if the coin shows wear and dirt from decades of use. Collectors often keep even dirty examples as part of date sets or to complete a collection of Lincoln Wheat pennies from every year. While the dollar value may be low, the historical value is meaningful, and many people enjoy learning about the stories behind these coins. If you have a 1945 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in dirty, circulated condition, you should know that its value in today's market is generally under $1, but it still has interest as a collectible piece of American coin history and a reminder of the era in which it circulated. Next up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Steel Penny with an S mint mark is one of the most fascinating and talked about coins in American numismatics. In 1943, the United States was deeply involved in World War II, and copper was in high demand for war materials. Because of this, the mint changed the composition of the penny for that year and produced coins made mostly of steel with a thin zinc coating. The result was a very distinctive gray steel coin rather than the usual reddish copper appearance collectors associate with Lincoln pennies. The 1943 S steel penny was struck at the San Francisco Mint and carries an S mint mark beneath the date. These pennies were made in large quantities, but because they are steel, they were prone to corrosion and rusting over time. Many of the surviving examples have lost their original finish or have spots of discoloration because of circulation and environmental exposure. A coin in good condition still shows the date and mint mark clearly and retains some of the design details, even though it has been worn by circulation. A 1943 S steel penny in good condition is considered collectible because it represents a unique moment in U.S. coin history. The use of steel for coinage was a one-year experiment forced by wartime needs, and this penny serves as a reminder of that era. On the obverse, the profile of Abraham Lincoln remains visible, even in worn coins, and on the reverse, the wheat ears frame the words United States of America and 1 cent. When evaluating the value in dollars of a 1943 steel penny in good condition, the market recognizes both the historic interest and the common survival rate of these coins. A 1943 steel penny in good condition typically trades in a range that reflects modest collector demand for circulated examples. In today's market, such coins often sell for several dollars to perhaps around $20 or slightly more, depending on eye appeal. Coins that are free of heavy corrosion or major damage and that show a pleasing look may reach higher within that range, while those with heavy wear or poor surfaces will be toward the lower end. It is important for viewers to understand that condition has a strong influence on value. Good condition means the major design elements are worn but visible. Lincoln's profile is smooth but recognizable, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are worn but still identifiable. This differs from lower grades where details are too faint to easily see. Because many 1943 steel pennies have issues from rust or corrosion, the truly attractive worn examples are more desirable, and that desirability can influence the dollar value. Many listings that show very high prices are for coins in uncirculated condition or for rare error pieces. The standard 1943 steel penny in good condition does not command extremely high dollar amounts, but it remains a meaningful and collectible coin. People enjoy owning this piece because it represents a time when ordinary currency was affected by global events, and the decisions made by the mint reflected the needs of a nation at war. Collectors often include the 1943 steel penny in their Lincoln Wheat Penny set because it completes the series and highlights the unique steel issue of that year. Even though the market value in dollars for a good condition example may not be large, the historical significance and the story behind the coin make it a rewarding addition to any collection. If you have a 1943 steel penny in good condition, it's worth checking recent sales for similar coins so you have a realistic idea of what people are paying. Understanding current market trends will help you know what to expect if you decide to sell or trade your coin. In the end, the 1943 steel penny in good condition is a piece of American history whose value today reflects both its unique metal composition and the enduring appeal of Lincoln's long-running penny series. Next up, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark is a coin that many people find in old collections, change jars, and antique boxes because it was made in large numbers during a time when the United States was deeply involved in World War II. This coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint in 1944, which is why it does not have a mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark on pennies at that time, and so the coin simply shows the date, Lincoln's profile on the front, and the wheat ears on the back. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series began in 1909 and continued until 1958, and it has become one of the most collected series in American numismatics because of its long history and its connection to Abraham Lincoln. The design features Lincoln's bust on the obverse with the words, "In God We Trust" above his head, Liberty to the left, and the year of issue below. On the reverse, the denomination 1 cent and United States of America are flanked by the 2 wheat stalks that give the series its common name. In 1944, more than 1 billion Lincoln Wheat Pennies were struck across all mints, making this year one of the most common dates in the entire series. Because of this tremendous production, the value for most 1944 no-mint mark pennies is based on condition rather than rarity. A coin described as being in dirty condition means that it has been in circulation for many decades and now shows heavy surface grime, discoloration, and wear. The fine details that once graced the coin may be smooth and faint from years of handling and exposure. When evaluating the value in dollars of a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in dirty condition, one must understand that such coins are generally valued for what they are rather than what they might have been when new. In the current market, a typical dirty circulated 1944 penny will usually trade for an amount only slightly above face value. Most buyers and collectors will pay between 10 cents and 50 cents for a heavily worn, dirty example. This range reflects the reality that common wheat pennies from 1944 are easy to find even in worn states. The amount a coin brings can vary depending on how dirty or worn it is and whether any original detail can still be seen. There are occasional sales of more attractive circulated 1944 pennies that bring higher prices because they show stronger detail or better eye appeal, even if they are still technically circulated. However, a truly dirty, heavily worn 1944 no mint mark penny will not bring high prices in normal marketplaces. The dollar value for these coins remains modest and consistent with their status as common dates from the heart of the wheat penny era. Collectors value pieces like the 1944 wheat penny for their historical significance. The coin circulated during the final years of World War II, when coins were a part of everyday life for soldiers, workers, families, and children across the country. Holding a 1944 penny today connects a collector or hobbyist with a moment in history when America faced great challenges and profound change. For people new to coin collecting, the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny in dirty condition can be a fascinating introduction because it is affordable, easy to find, and carries a story from the past. While its dollar value may be low, the educational and emotional value can be much greater. Collectors often keep examples of each date in a set and enjoy comparing how wear and time have affected individual coins. If you have a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in dirty condition, you now understand that its value in today's market is generally under $1 and most often in a range well below $1. Those who study coins focus on condition and scarcity, and in this case, the common date and heavy wear keep the dollar value modest. Yet the coin remains a tangible link to American coinage and to the people who once used it every day in towns and cities across the nation.
Next up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark is one of the most interesting coins in United States coin collecting because of the story behind its production and the way collectors value it today. In 1943, most 1-cent coins were made from zinc-coated steel because copper was needed for the war effort. However, a small number of pennies were accidentally struck on copper planchets, and those rare error coins can be extremely valuable. What we are focusing on in this video is a 1943 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark that is in damaged condition and how the market values it today. A 1943 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark means the coin was struck in Philadelphia. Most coins from that year are steel and have a silver-gray appearance. A genuine 1943 no mint mark copper penny is extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors when it is in collectible condition. The damaged condition means that the coin shows significant marks, wear, or physical problems that came from rough treatment, circulation, or environmental exposure over many years. This can include scratches, dents, holes, corrosion, bends, or anything that affects the surface of the coin and makes it less attractive. When evaluating a 1943 no mint mark copper penny, it is important to understand that even though the coin is rare, its condition plays a major role in value. Damaged coins are typically worth less than well-preserved examples because collectors prefer coins with strong details and original surfaces. A damaged 1943 copper Lincoln penny will still draw interest among collectors because of its extreme rarity, but the dollar value will reflect both the rarity and the condition. In today's market, a 1943 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in damaged condition can still be worth thousands of dollars. Even in poor condition, these error pennies are known to trade for high prices when they are verified as genuine copper strikes from 1943. Damaged coins may sell for lower prices compared to clean examples, but because there are so few of them, the values remain significant. Some damaged copper 1943 pennies have sold at auction for prices in the low thousands, while others in slightly better condition have reached much higher figures. The value depends on how severe the damage is, how well the coin can still be identified, and whether or not it has been authenticated by experts. Collectors and dealers will look for key features such as the weight, color, and metal composition to confirm that the coin is truly a copper error and not a plated or altered steel penny. Once authenticity is established, the coin's story becomes part of its appeal, and buyers understand they are purchasing something extremely rare. A damaged example may not look beautiful, but it still represents one of the most famous error coins in United States numismatics.
The market for rare error coins like the 1943 no mint mark copper penny remains strong because serious collectors and investors value scarcity and historical significance. Even in damaged condition, these pennies communicate a story about the wartime production changes and the accidental striking of an unexpected metal. That historical connection adds to the coin's value in the eyes of many buyers. If you think you have a 1943 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in any condition, it is wise to have it examined by a knowledgeable coin expert. Proper authentication can confirm whether it is a genuine copper error and help you understand its potential value. For a damaged example, the dollar amounts you might expect today are still large compared to most common coins because of how rare and desirable this variety is. In summary, a 1943 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in damaged condition is a fascinating piece of history. Its value in today's market can range into the thousands of dollars, even when the coin is heavily worn or damaged because of the scarcity of genuine copper errors from that year. This makes it one of the most valuable and talked about coins in the Lincoln Wheat Penny series, and an exciting find for anyone who comes across one in their collection or change. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you next time. Happy collecting.
Next up, the 1940 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with an S mint mark is a coin that was struck at the San Francisco Mint and carries special interest for collectors because of its mint location. This coin features the familiar Lincoln wheat design with Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and two wheat stalks framing the denomination and United States of America on the reverse. The S mint mark is located just below the date on the front of the coin and identifies it as a San Francisco issue, which had lower production numbers compared to the Philadelphia Mint, making it more desirable for collectors. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series began in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1940 S mint mark penny was produced during a period when the country was emerging from the Great Depression and approaching a time of global conflict. Millions of these pennies were used in dairy commerce, but because the San Francisco Mint produced fewer coins than Philadelphia, this particular variety is scarcer and more valuable, especially in higher grades. Extra fine condition means that the coin shows light wear on the highest points, but retains most of the original detail. On a 1940 S penny in extra fine condition, the hairlines on Lincoln's head are visible, his coat shows detail, and the wheat stalks on the reverse remain clearly defined. The coin may have minor marks or slight smoothing on the edges, but overall it is well preserved and attractive to collectors. In today's market, the value of a 1940 S Lincoln Wheat Penny in extra fine condition is generally higher than the common Philadelphia issues. Collectors typically pay several dollars for a well-preserved example, and depending on the coin's eye appeal and color, prices can range from $5 to $10. Coins with particularly attractive surfaces or stronger detail may fetch slightly higher prices, while those with small blemishes or dull color may be at the lower end of the range. The 1940 S Lincoln Wheat Penny is a key coin for anyone building a complete date and mint mark set. It represents a connection to American history, having circulated during a pivotal time in the nation's past. While it is not a rare coin like some of the earlier key dates, its scarcity relative to Philadelphia minted pennies and its condition make it a meaningful addition to any collection. Collectors value extra fine 1940 S pennies for their balance of availability and quality. Their affordity shows strong detail and are important for understanding the variety of Lincoln Wheat pennies. Even though the monetary value may seem modest compared to rare coins, the historical significance and collectible interest make it a coin worth keeping. Owning a 1940 S Lincoln Wheat Penny in extra fine condition provides a tangible link to the past and an example of the craftsmanship of mid-20th century coinage. Its value in today's market ranges around $5 to $10, depending on the coin's condition, color, and overall appearance, making it both a collectible and a small investment in American history. This coin is ideal for collectors who want to complete a set, understand grading, or simply enjoy owning a piece of history that once was in everyday circulation across the United States. It serves as a reminder of the longevity of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series and the continued interest in these coins by collectors today.
Next up, the 1955 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark is one of the coins that collectors find both interesting and accessible. This coin was struck in 1955 at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it does not carry a mint mark. The Lincoln Wheat Penny design had been in production for decades and features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse with his profile facing right, the words "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date at the bottom. The reverse of the coin has two wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America with E pluribus unum above. This design is recognized as one of the most iconic in American coinage, and it remained in use until 1958. The 1955 penny was made during a period of post-war growth, and daily commerce and millions of these coins circulated throughout the United States. Because of the high mintage, this date is considered common, and the value of the coin depends largely on its condition. Extra fine condition indicates that the coin has seen some use but retains most of its original details. On a 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny in extra fine condition, Lincoln's hairlines and facial features remain clear and sharp, the details of his coat are visible, and the wheat stalks on the reverse show strong lines with minimal smoothing. Coins in this condition are highly sought after by collectors, who prefer coins that show minimal wear while still maintaining their history. In today's market, a 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition typically has a value ranging from 50 cents to $1, depending on the appearance of the coin. Coins with exceptional color or eye appeal may sell slightly higher, while those with minor discoloration or marks may sell slightly lower. This range reflects realistic collector expectations and represents what most buyers and sellers agree upon for this date and grade. It is important to note that many online listings for Lincoln Wheat Pennies may show much higher prices, but those are often for uncirculated coins, coins with rare errors, or coins with unusual eye appeal. A normal 1955 no mint mark penny in extra fine condition is collectible and respected among enthusiasts, but it does not reach high auction prices. Its value comes from its age, condition, and role in completing date sets or personal collections. Owning a 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny also connects collectors to a piece of history. This coin circulated during the mid-1950s, a time of significant growth and change in the United States. Millions of these pennies were used to buy everyday items, and today they serve as tangible reminders of that era. Collectors enjoy these coins not only for their value in dollars, but for the story they carry and the connection to past generations. For those building a Lincoln Wheat Penny collection, the 1955 no mint mark penny in extra fine condition is a desirable addition. It demonstrates what to look for in grading, shows how coins wear over time, and offers an affordable way to own a piece of American history. While its market value in dollars is modest, its historical significance and collectible appeal make it a meaningful coin to keep and preserve. If you have a 1955 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition, it is likely worth around 50 cents to $1 in today's market. Its true value, however, lies in its age, design, and place in the long and celebrated history of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series, and it remains a popular coin for collectors of all levels. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you next time. Happy collecting!
Up next, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln steel penny with a D mint mark is one of the most fascinating coins in United States history. This coin was struck during World War II, when copper was needed for the war effort and pennies were made from steel coated with zinc. The D mint mark indicates that it was produced at the Denver Mint. The steel penny stands out because of its unusual composition and silver-gray color compared to the typical copper pennies collectors are used to. The Lincoln steel penny was produced in 1943, and it is famous for its unique appearance and historical context. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln facing to the right with the words "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date with the D mint mark below. The reverse has two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America with E pluribus unum at the top. This design remained consistent with the Lincoln Wheat Penny series and is instantly recognizable to collectors. During 1943, the United States produced steel pennies in very large numbers to conserve copper for the war effort. The Denver Mint struck approximately 130 million of these coins, making it less common than the Philadelphia issue, but still relatively available to collectors. Because of their unusual metal composition, steel pennies are prone to rust and corrosion, so finding one in extra fine condition is rare and highly desirable. Extra fine condition means the coin has light wear on the highest points, but retains most of its original details. On this coin, Lincoln's hair and coat lines are sharp, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are clear with only minor smoothing on the high points. The value of a 1943 D steel penny in extra fine condition depends on its overall appearance and preservation. In today's market, these coins are considered collectible due to their historical significance, limited mintage from the Denver Mint, and the challenge of finding well-preserved examples. A steel penny in extra fine condition typically trades for around $30 to $50, although exceptionally well-preserved pieces with strong color and eye appeal may sell for higher amounts. Collectors are particularly interested in these coins because they represent a unique period in U.S. history when everyday coins were altered due to wartime needs. The steel penny is a tangible connection to the home front of World War II and a symbol of resourcefulness and adaptation. It is also a coin that could be displayed, studied, and added to date sets or specialized collections. It is important to note that steel pennies are magnetic due to their iron content, and this is one way collectors quickly identify them. Extra fine examples that are clean, untarnished, and show minimal wear are considered high quality for this series. Even though steel pennies are not as valuable as rare copper or error coins, a 1943 D steel penny in extra fine condition holds a solid place in the collector market. For those who find a 1943 D steel penny in extra fine condition, it represents both historical value and a tangible piece of the past. Its silver-gray color, limited minting at Denver, and connection to a pivotal moment in American history make it a desirable coin. Collectors value it not just for dollars, but for its story and its place in the Lincoln Wheat Penny series. Overall, the 1943 D Lincoln Steel Penny in extra fine condition is a sought-after coin for collectors who appreciate its history, rarity and high grade, and unique wartime composition. Its value in today's market is generally around $30 to $50, but the coin's true significance is in its connection to American history and its appeal to collectors who enjoy the Lincoln Wheat Penny series.